Okay, I'm going to attempt to explain how to use webhooks in AudioPen. And I'll begin just by explaining what a webhook is. It is essentially a way for you to send data from one program to another, or from one program to multiple other programs, by sending that data to a single point on the internet, which you can think of as a hook, and then automating what happens to the data that has been captured by that hook. Um, so a couple of examples. If you saved meeting notes in AudioPen, you might want to add that to a Google Sheet that is accessible by the rest of your team. You could do that with a single click. You could also want to email those meeting notes to a list of people in your team. You can do that with the same click. So one click can do multiple things. Once the data is captured by the webhook, you can sort of predefine what happens to that data. And I'll take you through an example of doing just that. So to get started, you'd want to click on the settings button in the top right corner and scroll down and make sure you've toggled on the beta program, because at the moment webhooks are still a beta feature. And then click on setup integrations and scroll all the way down to manually triggered webhooks. I find these to be more useful than the instant webhooks, which get triggered the moment a fresh note is saved, because I often like to make edits to notes before I want to automate things. So that's where this stuff comes in useful. So make sure this is toggled on as well. And for this example, I'm going to say add a webhook, and let's call it meeting notes to Google Sheets. And you'll notice AudioPen asks for a webhook URL. What this URL is the address of that hook on the internet that you want to send the data to. And you can find or create these hooks in multiple other softwares. The one I prefer to use is Zapier. I think make.com also has this. Pabbly also has this. Or you can set up your own custom hook. For this example, I'm just going to take you through Zapier's webhook capture process. So I've logged into my Zapier account, and I'm going to click on create and say new Zap, and then use Zapier's AI tool to create a Zap. So I'm going to say capture webhook and send to Google Sheets. And it should give me a template that I can use to start. There we go. So catch the hook. This is essentially Zapier's URL that I'm going to send an AudioPen note to. And then I want to create a spreadsheet row within a particular Google Sheet that I will then connect to my Zapier account. I could keep adding things to this, so I can get multiple things done with a single hook. But for this example, I'm just going to use one. So I'll say yes, try it. First thing I want to do is find the address. So this is the URL, the address that I should be sending my data to. So I'm going to copy that, go back to AudioPen and paste it here and say save. And you'll notice this is now created here. And whenever I open up any of my notes, I have this icon at the bottom here called webhooks. Click on it and I'll see the list of webhooks that I can trigger. So the top three are ones that I just created earlier, and this is the one I'm going to use for this example. So I'm going to click on trigger, and you'll see a notification saying that the data has been sent to that webhook. When I go back to Zapier, let me see if I test this trigger, it should have found something. So perfect. It's captured that note. You'll notice the title here, quarterly targets meeting, with a bunch of text. And it's exactly the same here. The title has been captured here. The text is here. It also sends you the original transcript in case you want to use that for something. The date created, and if there are tags, it sends those as well. For this example, it's not sending any because there aren't any in this example. So let me say yes, continue. And now I'm going to get on with the second part of this process, which is creating, which is basically doing something with the data I've captured. For this example, I'm going to create a row in a Google Sheet so that whenever I click that button, this thing can get saved out there. So I'm going to say, yes, this seems fine. Let's say continue. Yes, this account is also fine. Continue. And yes, drive. Yeah, this is the one that I created. I had already created a Google Sheet here. So you'll see I'm just going to capture the date, the title, and the meeting notes. That's the one that I found in here. And worksheet is just sheet 1. And you'll see that Zapier has already figured out the 3 columns. So there's date, there's title, and meeting notes, just like the template I created out here. I'm going to go ahead and say date. I want this to be the date created here. The title is going to be the title, and the meeting notes is going to be the body of the note that I've sent. Perfect. Continue, and let me test this step and see if it works. I think it should have worked. So if I go and open up my meeting notes here, there we go. This is now populated with what Zapier sent. I can go ahead and publish this Zap, which basically just means I'm going to make it live. And now, whenever I capture a new meeting note in my AudioPen folder, all I have to do is just say, open the note, click on this, and say, send to Google Sheets. That's all I've got to do. Open it here, and you see this next note has also appeared here. So pretty simple to do, pretty powerful because it opens up an entire range of things that you can do with AudioPen. And I hope you'll find it useful. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Just reply to an email, and I'm more than happy to engage with you and kind of troubleshoot and maybe send you a video or two if I can. Thank you. Cheers.